Good morning. State of the School, 76th, I think, video in this series. And I still have this. It is the flu. It's type A, I think. My son and my wife have it as well. But I'm going to try to get through this without a huge coughing fit. I want to talk about animals. To understand Frank's school, you'd really have to appreciate the fact that there's animals besides humans, which are also animals. They're I don't want to say that they're everywhere, but I mean they're prime. I mean, and all my life I've had animals of all kinds. I suppose people have. I mean, when I go back through, I mean, I've had some pretty exotic animals. My first wife and I, for example, had 5 marmosets, little monkeys about that big in Brazil. I brought them back from Brazil, 5 of them, and I even had them here for a while. We had a fox. I mean, we had a parrot, and then farm. I mean, look here. There's 5 cats in here right now. I'm kind of surrounded by animals all the time by choice. When I work out there in the Gasthaus, there's pigs there. There's goats there. There's chickens there. I mean, they're just all over. Now, for farm animals, I've had. When I first came here, really, I had beef cattle. Now, I've never made really any money. It's always been loss. I mean, they've always been a huge expense, like maybe a drug addiction or something, taking care of these animals. But I've been sort of like a farmer a little bit, in that you can't just be raising them all the time. You have to eventually get rid of some. But so I had cattle, beef cattle, black Angus. I've had ponies, horses, donkeys, goats, and pigs is what I have right now, mostly. And chickens, guineas, a turkey. Dogs and cats, obviously. An occasional semi-tame porcupine. I hate to think that I'd miss any of them because they're all dear to me, although some of them have been dangerous. I had a capuchin monkey, for example, that a woman gave me because he had put her in the hospital, poked her in the eye. And I had the first billy goat I had here was really dangerous too. That capuchin monkey and that first billy goat, he was like a wild animal. He was not really tame. But to me, you're not fully human if you are not living with and very much aware of of animals around you. I know there's a lot of people that, or I don't know, some that they don't want to be anywhere near an animal, might be dirty or something. Well, I'm not like that. So if you have allergies, for example, Frank's school is probably not a place for you. But if you're curious about animals, I never had a pet bear, but I've seen them up in the woods some. And I've never really been a hunter. I did hunt a little bit. My dad tried to teach me to hunt and fish and stuff, but I didn't really take to it. But I know what I want to lead up to. I would like. I think I may end up eventually living with my animals sleeping in the same room with those animals. That's what they did in the Middle Ages, in Europe anyway, and people did it for heat. Well, for lots of other reasons. I mean, but they shared the heat, and it's going to come around to that. Whether people like to accept it or not, fossil fuels will run out. And how the humans that are left, or whatever's the future, how they keep warm, at least in this area, there's going to be 2 ways. One of them is to live in very small spaces in the winter so that their body heat can keep them warm. I mean, it completely different from thinking that you're going to live in a big house that the whole thing is centrally heated. That's going to be a thing of the past. And the other thing is to live with your animals. You go into a dairy barn, and the cows' bodies, they keep it warm. And I just, oh, and the other thing is, see, if I've got an animal that I'm worried about, or whatever, I hate to leave it in the barn and then come into the house and then maybe go out and check and come in and go out and check. I'd rather actually have it there where I can be with it. So, I don't know. I guess I just want to say that animals, tame and wild, but mostly tame, domestic, they are a big part of my life and a big part of Frank's school, Camp Ranch campus. Bye for now.